lifelong learning by guaranteeing a challenging curriculum facilitated by an innovative and dedicated staff, community participation, and state-of-the-art resources in a stimulating atmosphere. Our treasurer is not with us tonight. However, we have our executive administrative assistant, Ms. Kimberly Tidd, who will call the order, or the roll.
Mrs. Bozeman?
Yes.
Mrs. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Scarce?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews? Ms. Moore?
Yes. At this time, please join us as we salute the flag. We're going to go ahead and salute, all right? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. I now need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved in second. Are there any questions, changes, addendums?
Yeah, one change I'd like to make. I'd like to move the presentation, recognition of new Trotwood Madison City School employees to after discussion items and updates.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else? Okay. Being none, Mrs. Tidd, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Bozeman?
Yes.
Mrs. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Scarce?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes. The agenda has been adopted. Also, Mr. Andrews is here.
Oh, he is here. Mr. Andrews?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he is here. Okay? Okay. Thank you. First up, we have our board items, and I want to look at B1. It is a resolution to amend the employment contract for our treasurer, Janice Allen, as per addendum B1, and it's a hand-carried item, and it's for information only. Any questions?
And that's our annual evaluation for our treasurer.
Yeah. And what originally we thought we'd have to look at the entire contract, but we don't. We can just go ahead and make an amendment to it, and the contract stays in place. For those of you who've never been to a board work session, we have 2 meetings a month, every first and third Thursday. And the first Thursday, which is where we are today, is the work session. And I know work session, items are presented on the agenda and discussions are made at that time. And questions, there may be an opportunity for more data, presentations and the like. And really and truly, this is really where we talk about these particular items. And then at our second meeting, which is the third Thursday of every month at 6:30, at that time, these items are up for action. So tonight, our items are really just information only. So as we go through these items, I'll just be asking my board to take a look. If they have any questions, we'll get them answered, and we'll go from there. So if you ever go to a regular meeting and it looks like we're just voting, remember we've had these items for about 3 weeks, okay? So, thank you. In addition to that, Ms. Tidd, The public financial reports for the month.
We have one resolution that's information only, and that would be the resolution to approve the following minutes. Special meeting on July 12th, 2018. Special meeting on July 14th, 2018. Special meeting on July 24th, 2018. And special meeting on July 26th, 2018. Additionally, the public financial reports for the month of July 2018 will be presented to the board on August 16, 2018.
Thank you. Wow, we've had a lot of meetings. I just told you guys we had 2 meetings a month, but I tell you what, this board has been very busy. Next up, superintendent items.
Thank you. Under superintendent's item number 1, we have a resolution to accept a check in the amount of $299 from Life Touch to be deposited into the Westbrook Village principal account. That's on page 11. Now we're going to the 018 account. That's information only. Superintendent's item number 2. We have a resolution authorizing the Trotwood High School Marching Band, Trotwood Madison Marching Band to travel out of state on September 22nd, 2018 to participate in the Circle City Classic in Indianapolis, Indiana. Again, that's on page 13 for information only. Superintendent's item S3, we have a resolution to approve the personnel agenda. This is for action, starts on page 15. And I'll walk you through it. Items A1, these are just regular teachers that we're bringing on for the year. This is normal right here, bringing on teachers throughout the year. Again, that's A1. These are typical teachers that we have to go through, bringing them on with their contracts every year. Item A2 is a recommendation for approval of the following certified supplemental contracts for the 2018-2019 school year. As you remember, back in May of 2018, we canceled all the contracts. By law, we should have canceled them. So we canceled all those contracts. So now all the new supplementals for the 2018-2019 school year, I'm asking for approval on those contracts. Item A3. We have a recommendation for approval of the following certified employment to be used as needed basis for the 2018-2019 school year. Again, the same thing as with A2. We had these substitute teachers will be needed as they called on as needed, but we have to approve them all now as opposed to bringing them in one at a time throughout the school year. Item A4. A recommendation for approval of the following certified continuing contracts commencing the 2018-2019 school year. This is Mr. Freeman. Item B1, page 18. Recommendation for approval of the following classified resignations. These are individuals who are moving on to other employment opportunities, financial gains, family life conditions, and so forth. B2, recommendation for approval of the following classified employment for the 2018-2019 school year. These are individuals that we're bringing on into our school system to support student learning. Item B3, recommendation for approval of the following extra service contracts for the 2018-2019 school year. These are supplemental contracts, as you can see there, and the individuals' names who will be coaching those positions is also listed. That was all that I had.
Okay. Are there any questions? I have a question for you. Mr. Overson, I want to look at A4. Did we need to amend A4, or do we move forward with it and then on the next agenda?
Yes, we'll move forward with the continuous contract, showing and identifying that this individual does have a continuing contract, and then the next board meeting, we'll have another action that we're taking.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to accept item S3 as presented.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved in second. Are there any questions? Being none, Ms. Tidd, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Bozeman?
Yes.
Mrs. Freeman?
Yes, abstain on A2, the supplemental.
I think I made the motion. I made the motion.
Yeah, Mr. Scares made the motion.
Okay. Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
You didn't take my vote.
Oh, you did not? Okay. Mr. Scares?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, next up, we are gonna have discussion items and updates. We'll start with the red zone.
Yes, we have the red zone, their mental health provider, they've actually sent in an MOU, memorandum of understanding, to provide mental health support to students after school for the 2018-2019 school year. There's another group as well, the Samaritan Behavioral Health has also sent in a proposal to provide services to students after school, also during the 2018-2019 school year. So those are more or less, when we had the Eastway contract, who cannot provide services after school, these other groups saying they can't provide those services after school for us during the 2018-2019 school year.
Wonderful.
So we no longer have anything with Eastwood.
We do not have anything with Eastway during the school day. They have not sent in a proposal to provide any services for mental health after school at all.
Mhm. We have some sort of contract with them, along the lines of, do we have to do it?
We have a memorandum of understanding, bring it to the next board meeting. Right now, it's just really discussion, just to let you know what that is all about. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, we had kind of talked about the both groups so far, but again, this is really bringing it forward to you in front of a public forum so they kind of know what groups we're looking at. Because there were some questions and concerns in the community, since we didn't have Eastway,
Mhm.
what services, who will be providing services in the community for our students around mental health services?
Mhm. And Samaritan Behavioral, they're under Premier as well, is that
They are.
correct? Okay, and we have a partnership with Premier.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Monthly and quarterly compensation for board members.
If it's okay, before we go to that, I did have one question in regards to Eastway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they ever, just out of curiosity, did they ever provide you the information that was requested?
No, they never provide the executive summary in regards to student services that were provided, nor a summary of individualized supports that were needed, so we can actually pass them on to our mental health service providers that we're actually hiring in our own school district. So we have not received any notes or footings or anything in regards to services that were provided last year.
Okay.
So no documentation.
I have no documentation. I can definitely check with Mr. Nadir. Mr. Nadir,
We received a box last week.
you received a bachelor? Okay.
Yes.
What was in the box?
They were the assessments that we were looking for, reports on the students, similar like an ISP, so the individual assessment plan for the students.
So you received some documents. Again, we have not had, I can tell you with all the training and things that's going on
Yes.
last week, I know we have not had a chance to really go through the boxes for details. But I'm glad we have something back now, but up until last week, and then I'm gonna say late last week, we had not received anything.
Okay.
But again, one box will not be the information that we're looking for and provide service to over 255 students for the whole entire school year.
Wow,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Nadir, for the update. Next up, again, monthly versus quarterly compensation for school board members.
Well, I think the only person that could have answered that question is not here today.
Who's that? Oh, well, you know what, I'll share with you, and Ms. Freeman, correct me if I'm wrong, when we decided on the board member compensation, everybody was pretty much okay with whatever the consensus of the group would be. And so we just said, quarterly is fine. I know Ms. Jeter Freeman on the CTC board is once a year, okay? I know you don't want that, all right? So I'm really open, and it doesn't matter to me, either or. So if the board pleases, and Mr. Scares, you're really advocating for monthly, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, if the board pleases, And monthly is okay. I don't believe that that's gonna be an issue or a problem,
Sure.
okay? Any feedback?
No.
Okay. Board members, everybody okay with that? You're good, Ms. Vander? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we are gonna go from quarterly compensation to monthly compensation, all right? And if we need to, do any sort of actions or anything, it'll be on the next agenda, all right? Thank you. Next up, policy review.
The policy, the battery, I guess the battery's dead in this microphone.
The policy review is what was stated at our last meeting. Mrs. Bozeman and myself had the opportunity to go through some of the policies in the policy handbook that just need to be updated. Definitely the ones that were suggested by the state support team
In their review, unfortunately, the website was not operable to the point where I could download the policies.
Thank you. With the launching of the website today, there were some difficulties in downloading some things from the website, so I don't have those to present, but I will email those to the board members for the policies that need to be updated.
Okay. Mr. Overson, I know that we talked about, there were some new policies also. Were you part of the meeting?
I think I was in another meeting that day, but I'm putting a lot of the policies as well that they were talking about that were addressed as a part of the review. I'm also looking at some policies that we need to look at rather quickly, actually are part of what we need to revise for employment purposes. So I'll be sending some to you and via email to the policy committee on this Sunday.
Okay.
Two of them that we need to look at.
Okay.
When's your next policy meeting?
It is, 1 second. Yeah, once a month, which may be a difficulty because of the,
So maybe at our next board meeting, prior to the board meeting,
yeah.
maybe you guys can meet?
Mhm.
Well, maybe we'll change some things around because these are policies that need to be put in place
Yes.
for the new employment purposes. Okay? We'll make a note. And we'll let Ms. Allen know about the finance meeting and go from there. Would you be open to an earlier finance meeting? And then right after? Okay, Ms. Jeter Freeman, are you?
Well, the policy meeting was supposed to be scheduled for the 16th, but it may be an issue with the board at that point. So we can reschedule that.
Okay,
We just need to be able to talk about what day works best for us.
okay.
It can be any day, it doesn't have to be the day of the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
be
fine
any
with
day.
that.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Student representative to the board. And we as a board, oh,
She's here.
is there a student representative here?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, she
This
is.
is like the longest table, okay? Yes, Aaliyah Holiday. Hi, Aaliyah.
Hi.
Aaliyah was with us last year, and we brought Aaliyah back. However, what we're gonna do is, what we found is that really and truly, we need succession plans within the district.
Yes.
Not just on the board, but departmentally and administratively. So, I know we talked about it a little bit more at a retreat, but having a first and second alternate.
Correct.
However, I think that we need to build criteria around what we want, and we also talked about that piece of it. What we want along the lines of how we go about selecting a board representative. Mr. Overson had a really great idea, and his idea, in addition to Aaliyah, and she is the senior class president, we were going to also look at having the student government president, and her name is Natasha.
Tober.
Okay, and is she a senior?
She's a senior.
She's there, and see, that still does not meet the requirements for what we are looking for along the lines of a succession plan. So, what I'd like the board to consider are the criteria, what you guys want to do in order to, as we go about selecting another student, preferably, maybe a sophomore, all right, to serve as a board rep. There's a lot of ideas. I know in the past, we've actually let the student representatives recommend their successor. However, I think that what we can do is, I want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity, whether they're a student officer, or they're in a club, or they play sports. So maybe we can build some criteria around, first and foremost, who really wants the opportunity. Yes, initiating it that way. And then from there, maybe they can submit why they want the opportunity and what they can bring to the board, or what they'd like to learn, and how we can support them in their learning journey. And then based on those applications or papers, we could interview the students, and we'll do a rubric like we do whenever we interview anyone, a point system, and then we'll pick our next alternate.
I have a problem with that. One of the things I shared with you around student government, though, and this came from the teachers, that these students who are in student government have had at least 2 years of leadership opportunities and been in leadership positions for 2 years. The students who are part of student government.
Yeah. And you know what, and that's so important. I wish, and we will get to this, that we give every student an opportunity for leadership positions. Because that's really what's important, that each and every student gets a chance to lead, especially if they want to, yeah. And again, whether they lose an election or not, we know about that, right? They can still participate. Any feedback on that, board? Any other suggestions?
I think we would want to have at least a sophomore or a junior as an alternate, so that, they get to see and how it operates, and then fill in the position in the upcoming year. Yeah, because if we have 2 seniors, we'll lose both of them.
Correct.
Yeah, but if we already committed, we'll certainly
We have the 2 that are committed, but we're gonna get a 3rd, so, preferably sophomore, okay?
I can say also, Madam Board President, along with that, thinking about the future, I know that there will be a superintendent student advisor as well. And out of 45 students, there'll be 15 seniors, 15 juniors, and 15 sophomores. So as we start thinking about those students who need opportunities, give them opportunities, but then being able to cherry pick out of a leadership pool that's already demonstrated that success of leading, that'll be another opportunity. I believe Ray Carruthers at the high school is also creating a principals leadership group as well, of grades 9, 10, 11, and 12, which will give us another pool of students that we can also cherry pick from, and think about the applicants or candidates that would actually serve in these leadership positions as well.
Now, here's what was really interesting. We went to a conference, and Vanessa, I think you were with me, and this particular district, they had leaders, board leaders, from every building. So the little kids, pretty well, honestly, we can start at the early learning center, okay? With leadership, why wait, okay? Because that's what we're doing, we're growing leaders. And then the elementary buildings, they had like a student rep. That way, they kept us informed, and we just we coach them up, and we grow them within our district. So then we have somebody maybe at the middle school, and then of course we have our board reps from the high school. What are your thoughts? I mean, it was really great. They actually presented, and it was.
I would say, I'm just thinking about our district already. I know in Madison Park I know we can definitely have representatives. I know probably the highlight is going to be at Madison Park. When you think about the 4th and 5th graders, what we're going to serve for lunch. But I can see leadership all the way up though, grades 2 through 12. And really provide those students opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we want is to make sure that our students have a voice. So in student government and in the other areas of leadership, I would like for them to be deciding some of the things and some of the events that they want to host. and not just to be piggybacking on things that we've already set in place. So through the leadership councils you have and the principals potentially have, maybe we can have them meet and have them learn how to organize the meeting themselves, and then have them invite us to their meeting. So that is my vision personally.
Okay, it's a great vision. Because we have an upcoming retreat, we can have further discussion. All right? Any other questions regarding the student representative to the board? Okay, next we're going to move to board docs. And I know we had board docs on the agenda last time, but I didn't have the minutes. So I am going to share these with you guys. There's 3. And there's 2. And I don't have any, but I've seen them before, all right? What these are, guys, is we had the opportunity to go to Tip City, their school board meeting. Mrs. Allen set it up for us, and it was amazing along the lines of how they use technology with board docs. Our first go live with board docs here in Trotwood was tentatively set for the 16th. However, there's going to be some changes on our next regular meeting. But in the go live, we are not going to have any paper, none whatsoever. I know, Mr. Freeman. I know. All right. Okay, good. But we are going to get rid of paper, so we're going to save the district quite a bit of money. In addition to that, what board docs looks like is while we're having our board meeting, it connects us to our community, because people can literally go to our board doc site on our website and they can share comments. It's like them being here at the meeting. So that's really interesting. They can see how we vote, they can see the conversations. Meanwhile, even as board members, we can make notes and all of those kind of things. But here's the really great part about it when we talk about efficiency. At the end of these board meetings, the minutes are going to be done. And the minutes are going to be done precisely with detail, not just Mr. Scarris moved, Ms. Bozeman second. Yeah, somebody will actually be able to look at the minutes. They were not here at the meeting, but understand the dialogue and the discussion. So I wanted to show you guys what those minutes look like and how detailed they are. And those copies are for you, all right? And of course, we'll have our own template. It'll mirror our agendas. We may change the agenda a bit because that's a consent agenda. We have a different kind of agenda, but for the most part, anybody who comes to the next meeting, we're going to ask everybody to be patient as we get through this technology, all right? So next up are district wristbands. Okay, this conversation came about because at our last meeting, when the state support team was doing the big presentation for Trotwood, again, you know, yes, we're 608, but our slogan, and something I say often, is 608 to great. It truly is. And we elaborated on that many, many times. Well, after that meeting, Mr. Andrews had a parent, is that right, Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Approach him and say, you know what? I really like that 608 to great because it's positive reinforcement, it's motivational, it's inspiration. It truly, truly is. And it's a reminder, a constant reminder. So Mr. Andrews said, hey, he texted me, emailed me, can we have a t-shirt? Can we have t-shirts that are 608 to great? And I said, Mr. Andrews, we don't want another t-shirt, okay? No more t-shirts that nobody can find, they get faded, but anyway. So I asked what were his thoughts about having a wristband, because the district has used wristbands. As a matter of fact, some of the buildings and the administrators, I noticed they use the wristbands for their staff and things along those lines. So I tossed it out there. Mr. Andrews said, you know, that's a great idea. We'll share it with the board. So we're sharing this with you guys because it can say 608 to great on one side, then the other side, we got this. And that's what Mr. Andrews came up with, and I like that. You like that? Okay, it's great. All right, and Ms. Tiff, I know I've already had you do the work, I'm sorry, okay, before I even talk to the board, but, we're gonna make sure that we get these wristbands, and we want everybody in the district, all our staff to have one. And we are doing something different with culture and climate around here. We are looking at Ram Pride and bringing Ram Pride back into the district. And that's just the beginning of doing that. So, wristbands for everybody. Okay? So we'll get those started. Any comments on that, Mr. Superintendent?
No, I like the idea of 6 to 8 to grade. Actually, I kind of shared it this morning with the new staff members that are coming on. And to share with them also that this board here is really committed to student achievement. And there's nothing that this board here would not do to support students in learning and moving this district forward. So I did share it this morning with all the new staff members that are here today. So I wanted to kind of echoes what you say, 6 to 8 to grade. And I told you, this board right here is doing phenomenal work that they would never have seen with any other school board in the state of Ohio.
Thank you. True that. Right. Okay. Next up, strategic planning retreat. Okay, now, I am super excited about this retreat. This is something I don't think we've ever done. Not like we're gonna do it. This strategic planning retreat goes with part of the district improvement plan. When the state support team came out and did their review, they make a lot of recommendations. And our goal is to make sure that we follow those recommendations to the letter. I'll tell you guys, we meet 2 times a month. We have 2 meetings a month, basically. Sometimes we have special meetings, and we actually work on Saturdays and all day, doing Saturday retreats from 8 to 5. But in order to really do board work, we need more time. So I've asked the board if they could commit 72 hours. Yeah, 72 hours, right? Okay, 3 days, okay? I need you guys for 3 days. What we need to do is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I couldn't get a Sunday. But we work on Sundays.
We do work.
Okay, but okay, not all of it. You do work on Sundays, you just do it behind the pulpit, all right? So, anyway, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a 3-day strategic planning retreat. But here is what is so incredible. Our county superintendent, Mr. Frank DePalma, has been so supportive with any and everything that happens in the Trotwood district. I mean, he is probably our biggest cheerleader. He made a connection with someone who led us to a facilitator. Now, this facilitator is not just any old facilitator. This facilitator's name is Dr. Ventura Rodriguez. I had an opportunity to speak with Dr. Rodriguez for over an hour on the phone. I thought it was going to be a really short conversation. But Dr. Rodriguez is renowned for turnaround school districts. He is over the entire state of Massachusetts when it comes to district turnaround and their programs. He's served on many of the academic distress commissions. He's worked in education many years. This is what he does and does well along the lines of strategic planning. And if we had to come up with a strategic plan, and board, I know you'll agree, we only wanted the best of the best of the best of the best. Right now in Trotwood, that's all we want. No one else need apply, right? I mean, we want the best. And in order to get the best, we have to go outside of our box. Matter of fact, we had to get rid of the box. And Dr. Rodriguez agreed to come here. He doesn't accept any jobs because he didn't have to. He has a huge state that he has to work with. But he was so intrigued with Trotwood and what we were trying to do uniquely to Trotwood and for Trotwood, not another district with our name stamped on it, but Trotwood's strategic plan that would help our students and our district as a whole. So he agreed to come here for 3 days. We got the contract today.
Yes, we did.
And I sent it out to you guys. Mr. Scares called me. As always. What was your question, Mr. Scares?
What's this all about?
Yeah. And why did you ask me what this is all about?
I would ask you that because when I looked at the information that was sent over, I was absolutely excited about what that meant. Not just for us right now, but for our future as well, and what it means going forward for us.
And? Okay, y'all have to understand something. We are a very transparent board, okay? So we're gonna tell you what we know, because I really feel like you cannot over-communicate.
Sure.
And if I always say one team, one fight, so we're all in this together. So, Mr. Skip.
Say what? The price?
He always asks the price, okay? Along with Ms. Jeter Freeman.
It was expensive.
Yeah, it's $25,000. Did you hear me? Yeah, $25,000. But you ready for this? Because we have relationships and partnerships, it's not costing the district.
Very little, if anything, at all.
Yes, it's gonna be covered by our extended service provider,
Yeah.
Mr. Frank De Palma, the county superintendent. They said whatever Trotwood needs. Is that great?
That's exactly.
Let's give Mr. De Palma a hand. He's not here, but Frank was advised, and we appreciate the county. Yeah, so again, we are super, super excited.
Yes.
And that retreat, guys, the dates, 16th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 16th, 17th, and 18th of August. Okay?
Madam Board President, will we have our board meeting there, or will this board meeting be back on at the district level?
You know, I think it would be a really unique thing to have the board meeting at the retreat. Any comments on that? Because we're gonna be there all day, or pretty much, and all night.
We have a working dinner also
Yeah,
at this retreat.
yeah. So again, let's talk about that. Let's discuss that. Yeah.
Do we have, this is just board and, or we have the administrators come in at some part?
With the strategic plan, it calls for community. It calls for the board, which the board will be setting the mission and the vision for the district. It calls for superintendent and treasurer. We have to look at our finances, because we're doing a lot of forecasting. In addition to that, superintendent, for the academic framework, that sort of thing, initially. And then we bring in the cabinet, the directors, so that we get the feedback. And then from there, we bring in
Parents and businesses.
parents and students, businesses, other citizens,
Other stakeholders that we feel is important.
our stakeholders, other elected officials, so that we can get feedback, because this strategic plan is going to be our roadmap of how we're gonna go from 608 to group. So we're not taking it lightly at all. And it is gonna be a work in progress, but we gotta get it started these first 3 days so that we can build out from that.
Our state support team member, Betsy Abolito, has said she could not make the 16th, but she can make the 17th and the 18th. I met with her this morning.
Okay. And like Mr. Overson said, this board has been really, really busy. We've been so busy, and this is such a high-profile retreat that the state of Ohio superintendent, Pablo Di Maria, and the state deputy superintendent asked me and Myra if they could come to the retreat. Go figure! The state superintendent, all right, at Trotwood's retreat. Yeah. And so, of course, we said yes, right? So, but even bit better than that, and bigger. We're gonna have some other invited stakeholders. Mr. Frank DePalma
Yes.
will be there. We'll have state support team,
Yes.
okay,
Yes,
there, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is a huge, big deal. Districts don't do this. The state superintendent does not meet with boards. They don't do that. But I gotta tell you, they've met with us 3 times. So thank you, board. That's huge. Because they understand the work that we're doing. So, we're really excited about having them in the district. Any questions on the strategic planning retreat? Now, we are gonna come up, with parts of that retreat. Dr. Rodriguez is laying out an agenda for us now. We'll work in conjunction with him to build that out. So who comes in when and where and all that kind of stuff, all right? And that retreat's gonna be at Houston Woods State Park. And more details to follow. Next, board members' contact numbers, and this is in bold. Let me put this in bold. And I'll tell you why it's in bold, because it's like the 5th time that I've asked you guys for this, all right? Actually, what we have is our contact sheet, and I know that the board has come up with a lot of different ideas for the number they want to use on their business cards and the like. We talked about a Google number. I have a Google number, and that number is free. Anybody can call my cell phone, and it's really my real cell phone. It rings with the Google number, but it's not my personal number. So if you got a Google number, we'll take that. Mr. Scaris has a district phone, so he has a number. So whose number are we missing, Ms. Tia? Do you know? Okay. Look, me, okay, I didn't want to call anybody out, but okay. So you'll get us your number, okay, tomorrow? Tonight. Okay, so we get Ms. Bozeman's number tonight, okay? Other than that, we have all the numbers?
No, I'm still missing a couple.
Okay, you know who you are? All right? So, okay, Ms. Freeman's using her number, okay? And Mr. Andrews, you'll get us a number? You'll get us a number? A board contact number?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So that covers all the discussion items and updates. So we get to the fun stuff, because now we're at the presentation.
Yes, this is the fun part. Can I call on Mary Martin, please? Mary Martin, please come up. The reason I'm calling Mary up first, again, Mary's in charge. She's the director of human capital. And Mary had an opportunity and the pleasure of really reaching out to these individuals here that we're about to call up here. The board members will go up front, let you shake their hands as individuals when they come up as well. So Mary, just give me the backdrop. Mary kind of reached out to these individuals and went through the interviewing process, her and others. And this is a class of 2018, 2019. And as I shared with them this morning, this collection of individuals here is a one-of-a-kind group. They come from diverse backgrounds and really, really sharp group of people. They come from 8 out-of-state areas that are represented here: Missouri, Colorado, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Indiana, Oklahoma, and the furthest being California.
Wow.
We have 24 universities being represented here so far. Again, we have a couple more people they're hiring, but with 24 universities here. And this goes to show the diversity of thought and how Mary is actually recruiting individuals and bringing them to our school system. Miami University, Bowling Green University, The Ohio State University, Indiana Wesleyan, Urbana University, Rice State University, University of Louisville, Central State University, University of Cincinnati, University of Pittsburgh, Xavier University, Knoxville College in Tennessee, Wittenberg University, Capella University, North Carolina Tech State University, Cincinnati Christian University, Antioch University, University of Dayton, Ohio University, Wilberforce University, Cedarville University, Duquesne University, Walden University, and Purdue University. Again, for those out there, you're hearing all the places that these individuals are from. That represents a very divergent thought and thinking process of people who are coming to Trotwood. As I shared with these individuals earlier, I am really proud of these people that have come in here. And so I'm going to have Mary, if you want to call the names, all the people I kind of shared with them this morning that will be following them up to the stage. But I would definitely want each individual who's here to come up on the stage and shake our board members' hands, because again, one thing about this board is they want to get to know who you are. These are great board members. They're all about the kids. They want to know who the individuals are that will be touching the lives of our students here in Trotwood. Of the 91 staff members, we have 4 administrators, 38 teachers, 8 deans, 3 student encouragers, 5 parent encouragers, 2 social workers, 2 mental health therapists, 2 restorative justice specialists, 8 paraprofessionals, 3 clerical staff, 4 technology staff, 3 food service, and 4 custodial maintenance. Mary, would you want to call their names? Oh, yeah. Let's stand back there. I want you.
Mr. Olderson, for a total of how many?
We have 91 new staff members today. 91 new staff members. We have some that could not make it back, so we're going to call them up by category. If I could, can I have the 4 administrators please stand and come up to the stage? The administrators, our directors, please stand and come to the front. Great. Come on up, yes, come up to the side. We actually have another 5th administrator, but they're on contract. Since I know the individual, I call their names out. Ray Carruthers, our high school principal. Aaron Gregory, Chief of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. It's a long title, I think, Aaron. Another administrator, Chuck Richardson, Athletic Director. Another administrator in charge of Title I state and federal programs, Trevan Leach. Administrator who will be working with our principals around principal coaching on a consultancy basis, Craig Williams.
Don't hold the mic by the head, hold it by the barrel.
The deans of students, we have 8 deans of students. Can the deans of students please come up?
There you go.
The deans of students, Dean of Career Readiness, Frank Russo. Dean at Madison Park, Simone Epps. Dean at our middle school, Deborah Howard. Dean at the middle school, Greg Moore. Dean at the high school, Thad Jemison. Dean at Westbrook, Terrell Freeman. And now all of our teachers, I'm not going to call the names up because I don't know the names here yet. Mary may know all the teachers. All the teachers, please stand and come up. And we'll let you say your names, and then we'll have you walk across the stage.
I do want to say that a lot of our staff members could not attend this evening. They had a full day of orientation today at Central Office, which concluded with a bus tour of the district so that they could see the community that they're going to represent. And then we also took a tour of each of our school buildings today. So they have had a very, very busy day, and they will be back at it with more professional development tomorrow. Annette Larson. Ms. Larson will be at Westbrook Village. Pam Trout will be at Westbrook Village. Kathy Asher will be at the middle school. They're testing me a little. We hired 91 people. Tina Davidson. Westbrook Middle School. Tina Davidson, Middle School. Jamie Sloan. Jamie will be at Madison Park as a music teacher.
Ashley Whitehead.
Ms. Whitehead will be at the middle school as a new math teacher.
Audrey Brewer.
Audrey will be at the Early Learning Center teaching first grade.
Jenny Lowe.
Jenny will be at the Early Learning Center teaching first grade.
Katie Hensley.
Katie will be at the Early Learning Center teaching kindergarten.
Kyler Turner.
Kyler will be at the Early Learning Center teaching kindergarten.
Trayvon Chapman.
Mr. Chapman will be one of our reserve teachers.
Dustin Jeter.
Mr. Jeter will be an intervention specialist at the high school.
Melinda Lewis.
Melinda will be an intervention specialist at Westbrook Village.
Carrie Johnson.
Ms. Johnson will be a science teacher at the middle school.
Shannon Haynes.
Shannon will be an art teacher at the Early Learning Center and Madison Park. Let's have our student encouragers and parent engagers come forward, please. For those of you that don't know, our student encouragers will be working in each of our buildings, providing support to our students throughout the day, redirecting students and ensuring that our students stay in the classroom learning each and every day. And our parent engagers will also be working with our parents, our community, making phone calls, making positive phone calls. They will be making at least 10 positive phone calls every day. So on a daily basis, 50 positive phone calls will be going out to our Trotwood families.
Heather Murray are at the middle school. Karen Bates.
Carol Woodard. I'm at Westbrook Village. Karen Gager.
Lisa Troutman, ELC's parent engager. Lola Henderson, parent engager at Madison Park Elementary.
Any other categories of new staff members that are here, please come forward.
I'm Gabriella Clark, and I'm a social worker at the elementary. I'll be at Madison Park, at the Early Learning Center, and Westbrook Village.
Paris White, building secretary at the high school.
Carrie Farley, mental health therapist, grade 6 through 12.
Ralph Davis, restorative justice specialist at Westbrook Village Elementary. Ashley Hooper, middle school paraprofessional. Carl Blanton, high school paraprofessional. Hank Bennett, media center, high school.
As you came in this evening, there was a book on the back table that showcases our class of 2018 new staff. It is not quite complete. We're missing bios from a few staff members that we will continue to add to and send out an updated directory as we get that information. So again, thank you to all of our new staff. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate you choosing Trotwood Madison as your new home. Thank you.
Board President, any board members want to say anything to these 91 individuals?
Welcome. You're ours now. No, thank you so much. Thank you for choosing Trotwood. Thank you for being here with us. It is going to be an exciting year, hands down. When I said the best of the best, I meant that. You are the best of the best. Give yourselves a hand. Furthermore, we have a lot in store for you. It's going to be a year where we're all going to learn together, we're going to lead together, we're going to have a lot of successes together, and it's just going to be a year like no other year, hands down, guaranteed. Right, Mr. Superintendent?
Yes.
Right, board? All right. Okay, let's do it. Thank you, guys, and thank you for being here with us this evening. We appreciate you. Or is Mrs. Garrett want to say something? No, go right ahead, Mrs. Garrett.
Never give a preacher a mic.
Oh, you got a minute.
All right, everybody get your Bibles. Church and state, right. I would like to say welcome to all of our new staff members. And I would say, I don't know where you came from, but here at Trotwood, you don't need to come out of your pocket for anything. If you need anything for your classroom, whether it be pencils, crayons, paper, I believe this board had already discussed it. You just need to tell somebody. There should be no reason that you need to come out of your pocket to buy anything pertinent for your particular classroom. Amen? Amen. Amen. Welcome aboard.
Did I share that with
And
you?
hallelujah.
Did I share that this morning? This board is very unique, and again, it's all about the kids.
Just welcome. It's really, we got a big job ahead of us. But it's an exciting year. There's a lot of change going on. There's a lot of dynamics that are happening behind the scenes. And having new people come up, a lot of you are maybe new to the position, but it's really, really nice to see how many folks are coming back home. There's so many former Rams out there. That's wonderful. I love it. And I hope it continues. And a lot of you are going to be so important in what goes on here because you know how it was when you were here, and we're trying to bring it back to that. We were excellent before, we're going to be excellent again.
Look, I wasn't gonna say. Okay, welcome, and again, everything they said, I would say triple time. We're definitely excited. It's gonna be a whole different ballgame. Thank you for coming.
It's going to be a great year. We're a win team, and we're going to do this. This is going to be good. Share a smile, keep smiling. You see someone down, lift them up. It's a great day in Trotwood. Thank you.
And just know, we're never going to say no for anything for our students. Never, ever are we going to say no. All right? Thank you.
For those here, we'll be just finishing up a couple more items, and then we'll be dismissing as well. We could just, about probably another 15 minutes, just finishing up our last agenda items. So if you could stick around and kind of listen to the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, student representative comment?
I have a few things. First, I would like to say I'm very grateful and thankful to be on the board again for a whole year with you guys. Also, I think a good way to get student feedback is to do what we did last year. We held a lunch with all the student leaders in all the buildings, and we just gave our opinion on certain topics and different things that we thought would help the district as a whole. So I think we should do more of those consecutively. Also, I like the idea with the wristbands. I think that's a positive way to uplift the students. And lastly, congratulations and welcome to all the new staff members.
Okay, superintendent comments?
Yes, I have a few. One, I would like to say we're using Facebook to the fullest now. We're on Facebook Live tonight, broadcasting here. This whole telecast has been on Facebook Live. So if you have Facebook, go back and again connect to Trotwood, Madison City Schools. You can go back and review this entire video that has been recorded in Facebook Live. Again, I'd also like to say to our board and to those out here, one of the things that we're learning to use is auditorium more. In the past year, or in the past 3 months, we used it twice, but we use this auditorium much more. And in saying that, we're learning how to use auditorium. There's some things we're working out through the bugs around the mics, having flags and things like that. And again, I want to say I'm sorry for not having the flags here. That's on me. But again, working through the mics, working through the sound checks and things like that, we're working on some things. I can assure you, this auditorium will be used much more during the school year. This is a classroom and will be used as such as a classroom for learning, helping our professionals learn, such as yourselves, as well as helping the board learn as well. I want to say also that Madison Park and Westbrook have been selected to present at the Ohio School Board Annual Capital Conference. They're going to be in 2018. They'll be at the 2018 Student Achievement Fair. That's on Monday, November the 12th. Also today I went in and I did a radio broadcast today. It'll be aired, I think it's Sunday. We'll find more information. When I get that information, I'll send it out on Facebook as well. But we're just talking about what are some of the things that are going on here in Trotwood, some of the new happenings. And what I talked about a lot was around parent engagement and how we're going about engaging our parents in Trotwood this school year. So that was the focus of the conversation. There's been a lot of training going on. As I share with I'm really thankful for the administrators who've already, when they came back, hit the ground running. Again, we only work half days here. When we say that, we're talking about 12-hour days. The administrators, since they come back from vacation, have been working 12 hours a day. And I know the teachers are saying, wow, you know what, we're putting in 8 to 10 hours already themselves. They had 8 hours of training a day and they're here tonight with us, and they start back tomorrow with training again tomorrow. And there are many teachers who will be training 4 days next week prior to the convocation. Convocation being next Friday here again. We'll start at 8 a.m. here, and then that's the convocation starts with a light breakfast at 8 o'clock, and we'll kick off at 8:45. That's all I have.
Thank you. Board comments, we'll start with Mr. Andrews.
I have nothing.
Okay. Mr. Scarce.
I just wanted to say welcome again to all of the new staff members. After running an 11-week camp, I could not be a teacher, so God bless all of you. It is a very special calling, and we're glad to have you in Trotwood. And also special recognition to, I thought I saw the mayor here. She was here. Also, County Commissioner Dan Foley and County Auditor Carl Keith. I see them back there. Oh, welcome. Oh, is she here? Oh, the Vice Mayor. Yes, I'm sorry. Vice Mayor Betty Gales. Welcome. That's all.
Again, welcome to everyone. It's going to be a great year. We're all excited, and we're all going to be working 12-hour days.
And I don't think I have anything else. I'm excited for our school year.
And I pretty much have all my comments out. However, I did notice that the Trotwood the Trotwood City Chamber President, Marie Battle, yeah, she was also here. I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledged her. But we just want to say thank you. You guys could be anywhere tonight, but you're here with us, and we greatly appreciate it. Thank you for, again, putting in such long hours in a day, and your commitment and dedication to the students here in Trotwood. So thank you so much, and have a great one. All right. Yeah, because we're going to have a really great year.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. All right. And with that said, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and second. Are there any questions? Being none, Ms. Tidd, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Bozeman?
I'll move the motion.
Say Mr. Scarce first. Say Mr. Scarce.
Mr. Scarce?
Yes.
Mrs. Freeman?
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman?
Yes.
Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
And Ms. Moore?
Yes. Meeting is adjourned.